In this video, I want to cover something that might help you get some extra creative shots, whether it's B-roll or just give your lenses some new life. Let's talk about this little guy. In this video, I want to kind of focus more on, if you're going to be spending some money, spend it on some things that, that might be helpful to you. This is something that's really interesting. So this is really inexpensive. Now what this does is it turns any lens basically into a macro lens. What's great about this is that you're going to get shots that otherwise you couldn't get with either magnifying from 6K down to like HD, but this will give you true macro, which is great. And it comes in three pieces, 36 millimeter, 12 millimeter, and 20 millimeter. You can use all three together, or you can use it piece by piece, depending on what you want to do and the kind of length that you need to do it in. Now, the shots that you can get with this, again, macro lenses are expensive, and I've owned a few macro lenses. I had the Canon 100 millimeter and I had the Sony 90 millimeter, which I absolutely loved, but I couldn't justify using it all the time. Even though I actually used it for interviews and some portrait photography, it was an expensive lens, and I found myself not using it as much. And that goes back to the fact of, if you're not using it so much, if you have other things that you're using more, why buy it? This was cheap enough that I wanted to give it a shot and see if it was great. Putting this on a camera, on any one of your lenses is really, really simple. So let me show you how that kind of goes on. And the type of footage that comes with it. So it's a great little kind of inexpensive recommendation. This again will work with most cameras, whether you have a Canon or if you're using Sony. Great little addition to give you some more creative things to do with your camera and kind of bring new life to your lenses and turn them into macro lenses. So basically what you'll do is you'll align it with your lens, simple enough. Put it in there, locks in, it's great. Now you've got yourself a nice little macro lens. Make sure you align as well here, go in there, and that's perfect. Now, one thing I do recommend, if you're using heavier lenses, either way, your mount can be somewhat fragile, so be careful when you're mounting any kind of length on the lenses. That's why folks use this. You can either put it in the back or the front, and this will help support your lens. Let me just add that on now while we're at it so I don't forget. So I'm going to take this off and I'm going to put this to support my lens. And I'll put this back here as well. So let me roll that in here and bring that back here just to give some additional support on the lens so it doesn't put too much stress on the mount itself. And then I can put my follow focus back on. Now you can see how close you can get just to get some really fine details here of the camera, of any product, and it's really nice, I have to say. Sharpness is great, opened up or wide, you can adjust just to give you an idea. Anything here, so as you can see, this little tilt to follow focus, if I use that as an example, just to give you an idea of how tight you can get on the shots. Now again, if you're shooting at 4K, 6K, you can punch in even more, which is, nice, really, really nice to have. Again, lighting is always important with any macro lenses, even with this guy right here. The Laowa lens is amazing, but needs a ton of light to work. It's great. It has a little bit of a color shift. I spoke about that in my other video, but you can get some phenomenal shots with this lens. And I used it in some of the opening, and I'll show you some shots of it as well. But such a great lens. Depending on the distance that you want, you have different ones here. and these are phenomenal. So 12 millimeter, 20 millimeter, I'll put the prices, I got this from Amazon. So it comes in the 3 pieces, I'll leave the prices below. Again, phenomenal, just to give you some extra stuff when you're shooting either B-roll, really want to get some detailed shots of products or people's faces or reactions or eyeballs or whatever it is that you want to focus in on a macro level, you know, whether you're doing some outdoor stuff as well. Again, keep in mind macro, you know, photography and videography, you need a little bit of light, a little extra light. I think, you know, sometimes I use reflectors when I use it, and sometimes I don't, depending on the need. But great piece of gear. If you're really looking to waste your money or to spend your money, this will be an easy fix for you, so it's not expensive at all. I hope you found this video interesting. I'll be doing more videos about sound and other equipment that you can actually use beyond just getting new bodies, but we will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and talk soon.